Good morning. So today I wanted to do a little what I eat in the day, also slash pregnancy so far kind of vlog. So I'm just gonna be showing you like what I eat throughout the day, and then sprinkled throughout I will try to kind of go through my pregnancy so far. I've been keeping a journal, so I have many notes to refer to. Last night, I somehow got a nosebleed, and then this morning, I woke up with like blood all over my pillow and comforter cover thingy. So that was fun. Apparently, nosebleeds are like more common in pregnancy, although I'm not really prone to them, and that's the first time I've ever done anything like this, so that was random. And then also, I woke up on my back, which you're not supposed to sleep on your back when you're pregnant because of blood flow things. Like you need, it like cuts off, it can cut off circulation to you and also the baby, which can cause issues obviously. So you're supposed to sleep on your side. And usually when I find myself on my back, I wake up pretty quickly. But last night I was really worried because it felt like I had been on my back for a while, and I was like, oh my god, how long have I been sleeping on my back? And I was like freaking out, and then I was like trying to like feel the baby, and I felt her, so it's fine. But yeah, that happened. So that's my start to the day. I just had breakfast. I had natto with rice, leftover rice, and avocado, and then I also had yogurt and half a banana and some fruit. And then I also had like a little bit of a leftover cinnamon roll that I got from Olenstein yesterday. And now I'm gonna work from my desk, and I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I'm just having lunch now, and I'm having like leftover pasta with this like veggie mince from Laura McCartney. Laura McCartney? I think that's what it's called. I thought I would just like talk about pregnancy stuff. Somebody asked me in my last video if I've had any pushback or like comments from medical professionals about the fact that I'm vegan and pregnant. And I haven't had any comments about it so far from like the midwives or anyone. But I am very like conscious that I need certain vitamins, like especially vitamin D and B12. So I do take vitamins for that. I take the Pregnacare vitamins. I don't really know if these are like the best vitamins on the market or whatever, but I think they do the trick. And my iron levels have been fine so far, knock on wood. I thought it would be fun to kind of like talk through the first trimester a little bit. So right now I'm 26 weeks, almost 27 weeks. So I'm almost at my third trimester already. But my first trimester was relatively easygoing. I didn't have any nausea. I didn't have to like adjust anything really. I had no food aversions. I didn't really have any like strong cravings either. I was just like living life normally. I was very tired at times, but like I've heard women that like are so tired to the point that they can't do anything, but I wasn't really like that. It was just like brain fog and like some tiredness, but I was still like living my life normally. I did find that mentally and like emotionally it was more difficult because I wasn't telling anybody, and I found that quite isolating. When you're with people like in a group setting and you're not drinking but you can't tell people why, or like you feel really tired but you like can't really tell people why you're feeling tired, or like I don't know, you're just like it's just hard to keep it a secret and like keep it to yourself. And I was really anxious because it's my first pregnancy. I don't know what to expect. I don't know like how likely it is that the baby will survive. And I was just like really scared of miscarriage and things like that. So I think that also like kind of compounded the mental hardship, I guess you could say. The second trimester has been a little bit easier on me mentally and emotionally. And like actually for a while I was like even in denial that I was pregnant, or not in denial, but like I couldn't really believe that I was pregnant for a long time. Like I took pregnancy tests until like the 10th week of pregnancy because I just had to like keep reminding myself that I was actually pregnant. And it wasn't until like very recently that I actually feel pregnant, because I can feel the baby now. Like she kicks me all the time. I feel her presence. Like she is a real human inside me. So now I like, obviously I don't deny it anymore. Like you can't really deny it anymore. But it took me a really long time for like my mind to, or like my brain to wrap itself around the fact that I am pregnant. Like there is a human growing inside me. Yeah, it just took me a really long time to like come to terms. Not come to terms, that makes it sound like negative, but just like, yeah, just realize and like fully comprehend the fact that I was pregnant. And even believe it. I don't know, I just didn't think like it was like possible. I mean, obviously it's possible, but like it's just, I don't know how to describe it. It was just, took me a while. I've also had some very interesting dreams since becoming pregnant. Even before I was pregnant, I had like some weird dreams about babies and stuff. But when I was like 8 weeks pregnant, I had a dream that I gave birth to a baby that had bread, like a loaf of bread as its body. So it had like a normal baby face, and then its body was a loaf of bread. And I gave birth to it, and I was like, okay, like maybe it'll eventually turn into a human. So I was like waiting for it to turn into a human in this world, in this dream world. You give the baby to like a caretaker, nurse type of person for the first few days after you give birth. And so I went and checked on the baby like a few days after it was born, and it was like wrapped in like one of those towels that you use to like keep bread warm, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, it was still like a bread human when I went to check on it a few days later. Then yeah, eventually I like found it in this really tightly wrapped box, and it had a note from a nurse saying that unfortunately it didn't survive. And I remember being like really, 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 really sad about it, just like devastated. But like at the same time, I knew it was probably for the best, because like how can a human survive if it's like a loaf of bread? So I had that dream. That was really weird. And I had another dream at like 13 weeks, I think. So in this dream, luckily I gave birth to a normal human. In this dream world, like babies would be kept on like a shelf when they're sleeping next to other babies. And it was really like my baby was like really, really quiet and like never ever cried. So I never knew like when to feed it. And so I would just like leave it for hours without feeding it. And at one point, like the baby had lost so much weight and was so tiny that it like couldn't even like, it couldn't breastfeed because his or her mouth was like so small. I think it was a girl in the stream. Her mouth was so small that like it couldn't like breastfeed. Then like I was like, oh god, like I need to like make sure I'm on top of this. I need to feed it regularly. So I like somehow nursed it back to like an okay amount of weight. But yeah, it was just like really, really difficult because she would never cry or like make any noise. So like I never really knew when to feed it. And then a few days later, I went back to the shelf where like the babies sleep, and she wasn't there anymore. So then like I looked on the other side of the shelf. The shelf itself was labeled died, and for some reason it was in French. And she was there. Yeah, I was like really sad and really morbid and a horrible dream, you know, just like a nightmare. But yeah, I've had that dream as well. So very, very interesting. I decided to tell my friends and like other people after 13 weeks. So after the first trimester, and that was really fun, like telling everybody. Then in the second trimester, I started to experience back pain, like sciatica pain, especially in the first few weeks of the second trimester. So like from like 14 to 16 weeks, like I had like pretty bad sciatica on and off. And sciatica, if you don't know, like it's basically like, I think it's like your nerve is somehow affected, like one of your nerves in your back is somehow affected, and it causes like a shooting pain up and down one side of your body, and it can like go down like your butt to like your legs. It's like really painful. But yeah, the first few weeks of the second trimester were quite difficult for me. Like I was thinking, okay, second trimester, it's gonna be even breezier now because everyone says the first trimester is the worst, but I think the second trimester, especially in the beginning, was like more difficult for me because of like the back pain and just like I was really tired, and like I was getting like my clothes weren't really fitting anymore. So yeah, like I think that was probably one of the more difficult times in my pregnancy so far. The sciatica is gone now, but I still like, now I'm getting like this new kind of pain where it almost feels like a stomach stitch, but it's like in my back, and it's just like lingering like achy feeling in my back that I get every now and then, and it's like really, really annoying. And sometimes I get stomach pain as well, like stomach stitches and a cramping feeling. Every day is different. Literally every day is something new to look forward to. And then around like 17 weeks, I think that's when I started to feel like the baby fluttering, but I wasn't really sure if it was the baby. Like it almost just feels like you're like digesting food. Especially in the very beginning, it doesn't really feel like much. It's just like, oh, is that like gas or is that the baby? And then it starts to kind of feel more and more like pops, like something is like popping inside of you. And I think it wasn't until like week 20-ish that I really, really felt her. And now I feel her all the time, every day, getting stronger and stronger. It's like, sometimes it's like kind of painful. And sometimes it feels really weird, especially when she's moving like on both sides of my stomach. It's like really trippy because it's like everywhere, you know? And yesterday she kicked me so hard that like I actually was like, ugh, like it was like painful, you know? Not just like uncomfortable, it was like, ugh, like ow kind of thing. So that was a first. But I think I'm gonna finish my lunch. I don't know why I decided to do this like mukbang style, but it's not really working out. So I'm gonna eat my lunch and then carry on with talking about pregnancy and stuff maybe a little bit later in the video. I'm finishing off my lunch with a little bit of a sweet treat. This is the final bit of the Olenstein cinnamon, I don't know if it's a bun, cinnamon treat that I bought yesterday. And I'm having some tea with it. You're not supposed to drink like too much caffeine when you're pregnant. I used to drink 2 coffees a day, but now I drink like 1 coffee and then sometimes tea in the afternoon. So yeah, that's my lunch. It's been about 3 hours since I ate lunch, and I think I'm gonna go for a quick 30-minute run. And then maybe do like a quick leg workout at home afterwards. I think I mentioned this briefly in my previous vlog, but I am still running, but not as long as before. I can do like 30-minute, 40-minute runs pretty comfortably. After that, it gets a little bit uncomfortable because I have to pee, usually. So I'm still doing like semi-long runs on the weekend, like 10K-ish, but I might need to stop soon because the bladder pressure discomfort thing is getting a little bit annoying. I'm usually running like 3-4 times a week and doing strength training twice a week. And I'm also starting to do a little bit of prenatal yoga because I found that alleviates the back pain quite a bit. So I'm trying to do that a little bit more regularly now. Here's a little bump update, 26 weeks, closer to 27 weeks now, but This is what my bump is looking like. Okay, it's looking like this. It's definitely bumping. I feel like every day it's like getting a little bit bigger, which is pretty crazy. Okay, so I was planning to wear this vest over my shirt because it's really cold, but it's ridiculous. Like, I can't wear it anymore. Like, look. It, like, doesn't close. I mean, I can force it to close, but I don't think I should. So, yeah, it's really sad. I can't wear this vest anymore. I was just wearing it, like, 2 weeks ago, too. Like, I feel like my bump is just exponentially growing now. Okay, so I finished my workout and I'm just gonna have a snack now. This is Trek Smooth Lemon Bar. I don't think I've had this before, or if I have, it was a long time ago. But the run was good. As you saw, the sun was setting, so it was like really, really beautiful. The weather has been really cold, but like really beautiful in London, like Tokyo style winter, super sunny, clear skies, crisp, not gray like you would expect. So that's been really nice. Looks like this. After the workout, I did a 30-minute leg workout on Peloton. I got the Peloton app a while ago. It's really nice. It's like a nice, they have like a lot of workouts. They even have prenatal workouts. It's nice. To continue my pregnancy talk, one symptom I forgot to mention was around, I think it was like around week 15, I started developing hives whenever I would run. Like, I would go out running outside, and then when I would come back, I would get itchy around my stomach and my legs. And as soon as I started itching it, they would just like break out in hives, like really visible bumps that would go away within like an hour or two. Not completely, but they would like die down. And that was a thing for a few weeks. It only recently went away. I can't remember exactly when, because it was like a very gradual decrease. But I would say maybe as of like 2 or 3 weeks ago, it's not happened anymore. But it was a thing for a while. That was really weird. I went to the dermatologist and asked her about it. And she told me that in pregnancy, like, your immune system changes, and it can change like the way you react to certain things. So that might be why I developed a random like allergic reaction when I would run. I think it was like an allergic reaction to sweat. Another reason why I might have gone away recently is because it's too cold and that I'm not sweating as much, but I'm not really sure. Recently, the pregnancy has just been really nice. I mean, the baby is growing and my belly is growing, so that means like more kind of discomfort and feeling big and like that kind of thing, and sleeping is changing a little bit because my belly is just getting bigger and bigger. But it's just really fun to feel her every day and like see my belly moving from the outside, which is crazy. Like, there's literally like an alien inside me rolling around, and Joseph can feel her too, which is like really nice. And it's just like a nice way to bond and really feel her presence. You know, like I said before, it's just different now. It's not just like a concept, you know, she's like a physical thing living inside of me. It's also just weird to think about how a tiny human can like be inside you, you know, just like closed off to the world inside my belly, just like living her own life. It's just weird. And something that we've been starting to do in preparation for birth is hypnobirthing. I went back and forth in the beginning, like whether or not I wanted to do a natural birth without epidural or a birth with epidural. And the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to try it without. So in order to do that, it takes a lot of preparation. So I'm preparing by doing like hypnobirthing courses, and I read a hypnobirthing book. And essentially hypnobirthing is just like learning how to deal with the pain and the pressure of the intensity, you know, of contractions and giving birth through breathing and relaxation and meditation and mindfulness and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on. And every night, Joseph and I take 10 minutes to do some sort of like hypnobirthing relaxation technique. So sometimes that's a meditation. Sometimes he does like a light touch massage, which is like not really a massage. It's more just like him lightly touching my back and my neck and my head to like relax me. And yeah, it's just a really nice way to like relax together, get ready for bed together, learn how to like get in that mindset. And it's also kind of a bonding experience for us. Like I feel closer to him than ever, and I don't know, it's just like a nice way for us to come together, you know, because we didn't really do that before. Like before going to bed, we would just like, you know, be in bed together and say goodnight, but we would never like do an activity together, you know. So that's just been really nice, and I feel really calm and relaxed, and it's already like doing things for me, you know. I'm not even in my 3rd trimester yet, and I feel like I'm already reaping the benefits of just doing something like this. So yeah, I feel like this camera, I'm using a tripod, and I feel like it's like sliding everywhere. Is it just me? I don't know. Sorry if it's like slowly going down. Let's see if I can actually do it. I still have my fears. I'm trying to learn how to not be afraid of birth and to just, you know, take it for what it is, experience it, and hope for the best and be positive. But my mind kind of goes all over the place. Like you really can't predict what your birth experience is going to be like. And I hear, you know, all stories on all sides of the spectrum. You know, sometimes it's like, oh, it was a breeze. I went from 0 to 10 centimeters in like 2 hours, and I birthed the baby easy. And then sometimes it's like, you know, you have to get induced, you have to have interventions, you have, like, some people, you know, things happen and you just can't predict it. And I don't know what's going to happen in my case. So yeah, it's kind of hard to stay positive sometimes, but I'm trying. Okay, so I'm having dinner. I made a roasted veggie bowl. This is like chicken pieces from Squeaky Bean, potato, broccoli, cauliflower, onion. I think that's it. Am I missing something? And then I made like a hummus-based sauce with gochujang and miso and lemon. Yum! I'm gonna eat this while I watch The Traitors. Joseph is on his way to Paris, so I'm all alone for the next 5 days. So I'm eating by myself and watching Traitors by myself, but I can't complain. I love The Traitors. Let me know if you're watching it. I'm watching both the US and the UK versions, and they're pretty much the same production, like the same challenges. Everything is the same. The only thing that's different, they're even in the same castle. Like even the venue that they're filming at is exactly the same. The only thing that's different is the cast. So it's kind of fun, and they're airing at the same time, so it's like really weird. But it's kind of fun to like watch one and then watch the other to see how the twists play out differently, depending on the country and the cast. So I don't hate it. It's just I've never watched a show where it's exactly the same, but with 2 different casts running at the same time, back to back. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So, bon appetit! For dessert, I'm gonna have this ampang, or I guess plant-based bao from this company. I don't know, Imuraya? I don't know them, but I found this at my local Asian supermarket, and I was like, I love ampang, so I had to get it. It's basically like bread filled with red bean paste, or anko, as we say in Japanese. And it was really easy. It's a frozen product. You just stick it in the microwave for 40 seconds, And it's done. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it's so cute. It looks so fluffy and nice. It's still very hot. I'm a bit scared. Okay, this is what it looks like. Oh, look at that. It's really simple. It's just like bread filled with uncle red bean paste. Sometimes it's not vegan because, well, first of all, the bread sometimes is not vegan. It's made with like eggs and milk and stuff. Yeah, I guess the thing that would make it not vegan is the bread. The filling, I think, would be vegan. I can't imagine they would put any dairy in uncle. Tastes like childhood. So good. I used to love these when I was a kid. I mean, obviously I still do, but I'm gonna keep watching the traders. I'm just chilling on the couch now, drinking my ginger tea. Baby's moving a lot. I love like trying to get her on camera, like moving, my stomach moving. It's fun to like try to capture it. It's kind of hard to see on camera sometimes, but I'll insert a clip if I catch something. But yeah, that's my what I eat in a day / pregnancy update. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to do more regular updates as we head into the final 12 weeks, which is pretty crazy. Let me know if you have any questions that you want me to address in the future, and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye!